Hello, sixth grade. Today is lesson 83. It's on solving a proportion, okay? Equivalent ratios form a proportion. Now, let me review that term ratio. A ratio is a fraction. So another way to say this is an equivalent fractions form a proportion. Okay, so it's pretty simple today. Here we have a proportion. Which, what I mean when I say that is these are equivalent fractions, meaning they're equal. See that word equal is almost spelled here at the beginning, EQU, the first three letters, okay? So equal fractions form a proportion, and these are equal fractions. Now, if we say this say this as a proportion, we say it 3 is to 4 as 6 is to 8. You say, well, how do you know they're equivalent? Well, 4 times what number is 8? We know 4 times 2 is 8. So if that got multiplied by 2, this would have to get multiplied by 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. So that forms a proportion. Okay, here, 3/5 is equal to 6 over something. We're trying to find out what A would be equal to. So if we look at our numerators, 3 times 2 is 6. So if that got multiplied by 2, this has to get multiplied by 2. So now we can solve for A. So 5 times 2 is 10. So there is a proportion, fractions that are equivalent. And we say this 3 is to 5 as 6 is to 10. Okay, our last example, here we're trying to find a missing numerator, okay? And so we know 6 times 5 is 30. So if that got multiplied by 5, this has to get multiplied by 5. So now we're able to solve for what n is equal to. 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, so it forms a proportion because these fractions are equivalent, which means equal. And we say this as a proportion, 2 is to 6 as 10 is to 30. Okay, so that's lesson 83.